But when we talk about emotion, we want to talk in new product launch about very specific emotions, not just general arousal. We want to get to the level of discrete emotions, distinct emotions. So we can describe emotion along two dimensions. One is valence, which is positive to negative along the x-axis there. And then one is arousal, just general arousal, from low to high. And you can describe emotion that way, but it's really not sufficient. You need to know the distinct emotion that you're trying to evoke in your audience with your product. So for example, in the upper left-hand corner, you could have an emotion like shame, that's highly arousing and negative, and that's very different from the emotion of anxiety. So if your product is trying to alleviate anxiety, you're going to do something very different in your marketing than if you're trying to alleviate shame. You can't just go for alleviating negative, high-aroused emotion. You have to know the nature of that emotion. Similarly, on the right-hand side, pride, for example, is very different in nature than happiness. And if you're trying to evoke happiness with your product, you're going to market it differently than if you're trying to evoke pride. On the lower hand side, relief, for example, is very different from a general state of calm. So if you're trying to produce calm with your new product, you'll be messaging in a different way than if you're trying to provide relief. And then finally, on the left-hand side, if your product is trying to get people out of a state of sadness, you'll develop the product differently and you'll market it differently than if your product is trying to get somebody out of a state of boredom. So understanding the distinct emotion that your product is delivering and how you're going to message around that is critical for new product launch success.